It was Family Guy, and I think before that it was The Simpsons, and before that it was, I don't know, I just know it's been aggravating the shit out of me. She's not a bad person. You know, some of the. I'm not real big into Family Guy, or what was the other one? American Dad, or The Simpsons. When I was younger, I watched The Simpsons, but that's because it was what was on. We weren't allowed to watch Married with Children. So what's wrong with my phone? I don't know. It might have something to do with the fact that everybody's fucking power is out, so maybe every single person in town is trying to do things over their phone, and it's just getting me frozen up. So I get to listen to this lady, and while I try to exit out of it, I get to hear probably about 30 seconds worth of her show, and then it'll follow it up by the freeze circly thing going around in circles on my screen, and then another 5 to 30 seconds, and then I had to do the little circly thing and have to load up again. Now, there's some things that I've gotten to notice about her voice. First of all, she's got a little more false and soft than it generally would be. Also, I noticed due to her speech patterns and the way that she holds up her lip, she's actually got fake teeth on the top. I don't know. I don't really get into those first reaction type videos. It's kind of like watching the unboxing videos. Like, why the fuck would I want to watch you unbox something that I'd rather be unboxing myself? If I didn't want to unbox it myself, then I probably wouldn't be looking, and obviously I'm not the kind of person who's going to want to watch that unless there's something educational in it for me. I do watch some of those, the videos on model submarines. The reason for that is because I look at the scale. 1 to 30 scale, 1 to 32 scale, 1 to 38 scale, and 1 to 72 scales, primarily. Although the 1 to 24 scale and 1 to 7 scales are both very cool. The only 1 to 7 scale that I've seen is a 1 to 7 scale beaver submarine, and it was about, I don't know, I want to say 3 or 4 feet long. It was actually pretty long, but it's on a video, so it's not something that I've seen in real life. When you look at those things sitting on the table, it doesn't really occur to you how big they really are. One guy, he calls himself the sub guy, and he has God, what's the name of it? I want to say an Ohio class submarine. No, it's the Akula class submarine. He's got like a 9-foot long Akula class submarine. So when you see it on the table in front of him, you can tell it's big. But if you stood the thing up on its tail right next to him, you'd notice that it's it's another half of him in addition to his height. And that's something that you miss out on when you see the clutter behind him, the tools on the shelves, him moving. There's a lot of stuff to it that also the fact the camera really doesn't start until his waist up. It gives you a different perspective. Now with that lady who does the reaction videos, I mean, I can see why people pay to watch her videos. She is appealing. Like physically appealing. She has a good sense of, she's equilateral on both sides. She doesn't have a ginormous beak. She doesn't have a tiny nose. She's got good proportions. Plus, she's got the way that she applies her makeup is very much a almost a fantasy anime look is what she goes for. Between that and as well her hairstyle and each one of us tries to put on an image of who we are. Every one of us. Some of us want to be known for being pretty or good looking. Some of us want to stick out in the crowd, and some of us don't. Some of us have learned that we can get by easier in life if we're not noticed. Some of us have noticed that we're going to get shat on no matter what. And some of us have realized that our looks play a very important part in the role that we have to play in life and in how others treat us. Now, that young woman could ruin her entire looks by taking her teeth out and then closing her jaw. She looked like she got a bitter beer face. She would go from being pretty to ugly like that. Now, I wasn't dog ugly when I had teeth, but I wasn't exactly pretty. I ain't never been a pretty boy. First, I was scrawny, and I got fat, and then about the time I skinnied up, my nose grew and got fucking huge. Fuck it, so goes life. But I live in a world where looks are superior. That is what makes you a superior human being in the United States. Looks and money. What do you have? It didn't matter how hard I worked for the things that I had in life. What mattered is I didn't have the money to keep it. People weren't going to pay me the same amount they were going to pay you. They didn't want me to work the jobs that they want you to work. I got manual labor jobs. Shit end of the stick jobs. Jobs getting paid minimum wage for doing shitty manual labor. Tearing up my body year after year. I don't belong here anymore. You guys let me know that you don't want me to be a part of your society. There are people who feel bad for me, but all they do is tell me they feel bad for me. They don't speak up or look at evidence. Now there's a lady who's looking, sort of. I get to see how important it is. It is so important for a woman to speak up for men's rights. It is so important for us to have that we get people like Chloe Roma. She's not an American, she's a Canadian, but she speaks on a lot of stuff that happens both in Canada and in the United States, as well as Great Britain, and real heavy in Australia. The problem is she's a bit of an extremist, and she says to do things that I'm against. Like, of course, lying in court. Don't do that. That's how you get an innocent man killed, or an innocent woman, or an innocent child. Don't do that. Be honest. Now, I did try to get my sister to lie in court. That's true. That really did happen. I'd asked my sister, I said, hey, Tara, or I sent her a message rather, saying, hey, Tara, if people are really threatening your life and threatening Destiny's life over this, you can pretend like I tried to do something horrible to you. With people trying to sell that reputation, they'll lock me up and you can get me on habitual. Pretend I'm some sort of a monster. Obviously, Tara knows what to do. I mean, at my grandma's funeral, the way the family made it pretty fucking obvious that they were going to do everything they could to make sure they ignored the situation and convinced anybody who tried to listen to ignore the situation. That's because they knew if anybody listened to me, it would lend ear to the things that they had done. My mama couldn't have that, could she? Of course not. The problem is, see, when my sister was younger, she was, well, not a very good person and not a very nice person. When she got pregnant and realized she was going to have a baby, she decided she wanted to be a more honest person, a better person. And she apologized to me for the horrible things that she had done. She didn't go telling everybody else that she fucked up, but at least she told me. At least she tried to apologize. I told her it wasn't necessary. But the thing is, she's my little sister no matter what. And if she fucks up, she fucks up. When she fucks up, she can fess up, just like the rest of us. Well, except for Michael. Michael's the little bitch of the family. He can do whatever he wants. The rest of us will pay the consequences. Why? Because he's mom's little bitch. But what Michael don't know, and what Scott don't know, and what Tara don't know, is that when my mom dies, everything goes to Tara because she's the girl. The other thing is, my little sister has made a lot of sacrifices in her personal life to make my mother happy. Now, I've been watching this girl all day long. You know, being able to spot that she's got fake teeth on the top, pretty easy. Spotting who it is that she's trying to emulate because of the looks, pretty easy. Now, if you like how she looks and you like her voice and the way that she presents herself, the image that she tries to give you of herself, well, you can look her up. You can pay $5 to her Patreon and contribute to her delinquency and the selling of a truly fucked up image. Looks are important. If I had a pretty girlie to look at this evidence who had a brain and was willing to speak up, holy shit, things would be a lot different. Natalie wasn't that intelligent. She was very good at manipulating, and she knew how to use looks to her advantage. But she was dumb as a fucking stump. How did she think that things were going to turn out? Did she think that she was going to frame me for her death after everything that she had done to me? After me begging people to kill me for over a year over the fucking hell that they put me through? Did she really think that they wouldn't make this a public thing? She's a white girl, for Christ's sake, and a pretty one at that. You goddamn right people were going to take a look. But her tox report showed I told the truth. The testimony from Danica Garner, Rochelle Shelley Campbell, and Rose M. Kelly that I have recorded and posted on this YouTube channel show that Ted Bollinger and Tim Beeson are the perpetrators. There's also the situation with Lopez, talking about Natalie and her boyfriend issues and her family issues. Natalie could have told the truth. She could have put a stop to this. Then again, Joanna Taylor Smith could have cared and helped put a stop to it. And Maddie Boa could have cared and put a stop to it. A lot of people could have put a stop to it before Natalie was killed. But I got the wrong gender to care about. Now I'm hoping that since I'm making a video and it hasn't bugged out on me too much, I'm hoping when I end the video, I'll actually be able to look at the video that I was trying to watch this morning when I hit the wrong fucking button. I was trying to watch a video on the Sihun submarine. Now the design that I've got doesn't have anywhere near all of that crap. My design is completely different. But it's important to learn about the dynamics from people who know. And it's also important to look all the way back to the beginning on anything that you're going to want to build, because you may have to figure out how to do it with something different. I got a trip to Slab City sort of planned. I'm scared to go. Having to start over new somewhere else again. It fucks me every time I move. But I also see the massive quantities of garbage there, and there is no one better for making stuff out of garbage. The reason for that is because I went through and I learned how to do it with just dirt. I learned which dirt can be used to make cement. Did you know you can boat out of cement? Some of y'all are laughing. Some of y'all are saying, man, that's fucking crazy. And some of y'all are going, man, I better look that up. Those of you who look it up are going to realize I'm telling the truth. The rest of y'all are going to tell yourselves that I must be crazy because you can't make a boat out of cement. Well, you know what? They also said you couldn't make a boat out of steel because it would sink. But look what happened. We got giant ships in excess of 300,000 tons. Holy fuck, that's a big fucking ship. 300,000 tons. I want you to think about that. That's displacement. That's the weight of the water that is pushed out of the way by the hull. That doesn't mean the weight of the ship. The displacement is the weight of the ship that is displaced to the waterline. If a ship weighs, well, we don't need to get into that. That's not important. This is about being stuck on the same channel on fucking YouTube. Like, why is it that I am stuck with, all right, it's either, it gets me stuck on the video, and as soon as it ends it starts up on another one of her videos. So then I'm busy trying to exit out of it. I've got the option of listening to the whole fucking video, or I can try to exit out of it and then come back in, and hopefully it'll let me pick something else. It just doesn't. It starts playing from right where I left off. And earlier today I was having problems with my internet, not wanting to even start the video, and as soon as I ended the video, it started playing that fucking video again, right from the fucking beginning too. I'm like, oh my god, it's been on this fucking 30-minute video or 20-minute video. It's been on it for over 2 hours, and now I have to fucking start over. Oh. On the bright side, I got myself a new shirt. So, I'm gonna put that on actually, because the one that I'm wearing is pretty fucking filthy. And it's gotten so filthy, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of when a lot of your skin falls off and you're living in your clothes and you get condensation, be it sweat or condensation from living in this or being rained on, your skin cells begin to stick to your clothes, and they also begin to stick to the outside of your body. It also starts to rot, which stinks to high fucking heaven. It also makes you itchy as fuck, and I've been scratching myself and itching myself and not taking a shower, just trying to avoid the places where I'm going to run into people I'm going to feel bad for. Because I know a lot of them take advantage of me, not out of hate or malice, but out of desperation. Some of them it's simple desperation because they're addicted to something or another. Some of them it's very complex desperation. They got PTSD and can't fight their way out of the situation they're in. Alright. I'm also going to slip into these pants. I'll probably just slide them over the outside of the ones I'm wearing. That's if I can get them on. This is like $60 worth of clothes, but with my Fred Meyer's card, I got it for less than 30. I went in there with 40 bucks. I was told to go get something and fucking... What I was told is that I fucking stink and I need to change my clothes, so here's some money. The problem is everything in Fred Meyer's is... Jesus fuck. The cheapest pair of pants I could find is these cheap-ass, basically sleeping pants for 19 bucks. The jacket is fucking soaked. But I picked out a good shirt. Also, I should probably give a update on Lynn Whalen. She was able to help out a victim tonight. Thank goodness. Like, you know, she doesn't help me for shit. But she does help out people within her community, and that is far more important. She lives in Slab City. Now, there's a lot of things I could make in Slab City. Because I studied a lot of different stuff, and I'm real good at tinkering. That's probably what I'm best at. I'm better at tinkering than anything else. If you can tell me what it's supposed to do, I can make it work in most cases. I can make my own plywood. I do have a lot of the stuff here, not to make my own plywood. That's a little complicated, but looking at the junk they have at Slab City, I can make any tool that I need there. I understand that there's a lot of stuff that's just going to be simple plywood. If I wanted to make an airplane, there's the junk out there to actually make replicas of all sorts of different World War I airplanes and World War II airplanes. There's also a lot of stuff that can be melted down and turned into artsy-fartsy stuff. I've also taken a look at the stuff that they have available out there for fuel. And yeah, they have a lot of really efficient fuel. They just don't realize that it's all there. That's one of the things about the people in Slab City being from all over the place, from many different backgrounds, engineering backgrounds, construction backgrounds, college professors. There's a lot of people that your world didn't want them. Lynn Whalen ain't pretty like that blue lady. On the one hand, I wish she was, because then people would actually listen to her. On the other hand, I'm glad she is not, because it means that she understands well enough to know that speaking up is what needs to happen. When she sees something going down, she does something about it then and there, same as me. She helps the victim, same as me. Also, I know what I got to look forward to if I decide to live in Slab City. I might not survive a week there. I know how the homeless feel about certain things, especially those who have decided they want to be left alone. Part of that means making sure that our area is safe and clean. That doesn't mean safe and clean from drug addicts. Those are everywhere. The honest drug addicts, those are the ones that we can keep. Those are the ones that we can be friends with. We already know that they're going to do fucked up shit to us because they're addicts. They already know they're going to do fucked up shit to us because they're addicts. But they're honest about it. And that makes all the difference in the world. Rebecca Gross-Nickel-Foley, she's an addict as well. And I try to be as understanding as I can of her situation. But the thing I got to be the most understanding of is that she does have complex PTSD from her abuse. And she's going to be prone to running because she's afraid. She's going to be, especially after the experiences that she's had over the last 4 years, Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley is going to be afraid of anybody who offers to help because everybody's got ulterior motives. And I want you to, although if you've watched on my channel, you know how it all went down. There aren't many of you who have followed along that long. You know that I came here to help out Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley with a court case that she had asked for help with. She needed people just to admit that she was telling the truth. That sounds like someone else we know, doesn't it? She was just begging them to tell the truth. She was being called schizophrenic and mentally ill for telling true stories. And all she got out of her friends was the same thing I got out of mine. Fucking crickets. David and Katie Saltzman are still missing from Beaverton, Oregon. I still haven't been able to make a report about them missing. The lady that was going to help me make the report, I should have gotten back to her, but I get the feeling that she's somebody else that I had gotten a hold of and told to go away because, well, like I said, there's a lot of people I told to go away at once. Had a real severe panic attack over a lot of the people who had, well, just been complete and total ass wipes. They promised to help, but they weren't helping me. They were helping the Bollingers. There's a lot of people that I told to go away that it was probably wrong of me to do it the way that I did it under other circumstances. Under these circumstances, it's essential. Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley is across the border. She's out of Oregon, so she's not safe from her predators. She's right across the fucking border. Anyway, let's take a look at the shirt that I got. It was $9 on sale. I guess it's not going to work, is it? There it goes. Anyway, it was either this shirt. I saw another one in there for $12. It was pretty cool, but yeah, everything in Fred Meyer's is fucking expensive. They got, for example, there's fuel tablets. They're $1.49 at Walmart. They're $2.99 over here at the Tillamook Sporting Goods. They're $3.49 at the Fred Meyer's. There's also the rain ponchos. The rain ponchos, same company, Walmart, they're $1 a piece or 10 for $9.99. At the store here, the Tillamook Sporting Goods, they're $2 a piece, and at the Fred Meyer's, they're $3.50 a piece. So yeah, if you're against Walmart, keep in mind there's other outlets that you could end up with. Fred Meyer is for certainly a downgrade. It's a downgrade from Kmart. It's a downgrade from Target. What the hell? Probably just the cops driving through. Nope, somebody crossed the road doing that. Going through the drive-through here at the Starbucks. which is kind of weird because they put up road cones so that people would know that they were closed. Anyway, let's see what time it is. It's probably close to 11 or 12, huh? 9:57. It's not even 10 o'clock. The hell? Are you just gonna go around? Is that guy on fucking drugs? No, he's going around the other way this time. Alright. That works. Just trying to figure out what the hell he was doing. No, it's a cop. He's got the little light on the side that he's using. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of people in this area that are spotlighters. They'll go out and spotlight a deer for dinner. It's effective. It's illegal, but it's effective. So it might be one of them youngins fucking around, but it looks to be an SUV, and it looked like it was on the driver's side. It looked like he was maneuvering it, so. This blue lady, she's got a lot of subscribers. Chloe Roma has a lot of subscribers. Chloe Roma is the one who fights for men's rights, but she is also a women's rights activist, and that I very much can respect. No victim left behind. But she also often tells people to lie in court. And she does it in a very sarcastic way, but it's also a very serious, sarcastic way. I let my sister know that if her and my niece, their lives are really at stake, she could accuse me of something I didn't do, and I would totally go for it. My sister may have been a habitual liar in her youth, but she doesn't want to do that now. I don't know what she's expecting. Also, as far as me wondering what the fuck was going on with my sister and her tweaker cams, you know, when I showed Mandy the videos of that, she did watch a little bit of them because she couldn't watch the whole thing. She had too much going on. But she was like, your sister's on meth. Like, she's been up for a few days. You can tell that in the video. Like, she's been up for probably 2 or 3 days, Sean. I'm like, yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. You know, it's my little sister, and I want to believe the best in her. I want to hope that she wouldn't do something like that on purpose. But I also have to trust in Mandy. I really do. She has the experience, she has the knowledge, and she got addicted to that stuff. Whereas all I ever did was try it. And obviously I didn't like it. So, it's a tough thing. We're fighting public opinion. We're not even allowed to show the facts in court. People like me, they just say he's mentally ill, and boom, the rest of the American public will look the other way at everything I have to say. And the predators will take advantage of that. Here's somebody I can be mean to and nobody will care. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. I want to thank Michelle Stewart for doing something useful. I want to thank Molly Smith of Chapel, Nebraska, well, Sidney, Nebraska now, for at least trying to keep my evidence safe a little bit that I gave her. And I want to say thank you to her for for at least trying all those years ago. Her knee surgery isn't my fault. And it's not her fault. And her allergic reaction to the cement they put in her knee, it's not my fault either. The help that a person needs versus the help that you assume they need. You know, if you could just knock off your assumptions, if only we could go back in time and have you knock off your assumptions and actually listen, rather than spend 6 years throwing assumptions at me and literally doing everything you can not to listen, not to understand, everything you can to not be a friend or a family member. I gave my sister a lot of money so that she could help me, so that she would have the means to help me. And how did she help me? She didn't. If she'd have followed through, she'd have helped me a lot, and it would have been worth the efforts that I put in. But that's not the way my little sister thought of it. This evening I was going to try to post up a conversation with my little sister at Christmas time and a conversation with my ex-brother-in-law, Riley Lawton. Both of those are very important. The one with my sister at Christmas, after I was assaulted by DaCosta. That's when I first started trying to show my sister, and she actually took some time to take a look. I let her know where to look, but I left it up to her to be able to try to find it herself. She never tried. She said she was just too busy. It's not that I didn't try, it's that everyone was too busy. No matter what, too busy, too busy, too busy. You're never too busy to speak up. You can post up about the Kardashians, and you can post up about Jason Moo and the Bovine crew. If you can post up about Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith, then you can post up about Sean Schwartz. I can hear some voices. They're pretty loud, but they're distant enough I can barely hear them. They're not coming this way to start any troubles. If it's somebody who needs help, I'll help them. You know how I be. No victim left behind.